practical examples say more than 1,000 words, you know.
All right, so we'll start with your name, sir.
I'm Philippe.
Philippe.
Ma Xiaofei in Chinese.
Okay.
I work in Beijing Review as a Portuguese copy editor.
Oh, okay. I work as an English copy editor in Shanghai. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I've been living in Beijing for less than 5 months now, but I came to China many times before.
Back in 2012, Felipe Porto studied international relations at Federal University of Rio de Janeiro. He became deeply interested in how China sustains its economic development amidst a complex global environment.
I was very intrigued by a country that could do a lot of the founding the republic. So I decided to delimitate my studies to China to see what was this country and what it could offer. It was already showing signs of a very positive new model. There's the concept of building an ecological civilization. I'm a fan of this concept. And I could see that happening in front of my eyes. When I arrived in Beijing for the first time in 2008, the air was very polluted. And today, if you see the weather in Beijing is coming better day by day. Today is a beautiful day outside. It's huge size. This place was one of the biggest steel mills in the world, and now they repurposed it.
The symbolism of Shang Park goes beyond the towering jump used for the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympic big air events. Built on the site of a former steel mill, following the Olympics, the area has transformed into a vibrant community.
For tourism, for leisure, they have cafes, they have places to live, they have exercising parks, and offices around, hotels, and nature also. You see trees, very clear and very colorful now during spring. And the water looks very clean now also. They have fish inside. I was very impressed to see that there's fish living around all of these heavy metal structures. 今年有雨。 I was very impressed with Shogun because it's a materialization of the ecological civilization concept. Because it's the old and the new, the old not being neglected, but giving space for something new. And here is just a perfect mix of many of those things. And a really example of what China is today, like rejuvenation of a place and the rejuvenation of the nation also. Yeah. That shows a lot about my life as well, because when I moved to China, I was looking for ways of building something new for my life, but not neglecting my past. So that place made my heart beat faster, you know.
China has been enhancing urban renewal to make cities more livable and resilient for a long time, while the Brazilian government took a decisive step towards neo-industrialization in January. This new policy places innovation and sustainability at the center of their economic development.
This is a topic that I believe will be the future of the relations between Brazil and China. And both countries enjoy a huge potential in technology and in diversifying energy matrices, and they can do a lot more better for the world together. And I believe that extends also to the global south, because China gives us an example of things we can. Now in this new job, I am very happy because I could bridge my academic knowledge for the outside world, outside of the academic circle world. And every day that I go inside the office, there's this big sentence in the entrance saying introducing China to the world. And that's a very challenging task because the world is too big. Well, I try to show the perspective of a Brazilian in the Chinese media. Brazilians want to see the examples of things to believe in, like technology innovation, and poverty alleviation, how China did all of these things in the last few years. There's a lot of Chinese journalists in Brazil. The big vehicles are present there. So I think they learned very well how to communicate Brazil to China. And I wish we could see the same thing happening with Brazilian reporters and Brazilian journalists here in China. I mean, living in Beijing is a crazy thing. You see everything happening in front of your eyes every day. People in Brazil, sometimes they tell me, you're living in the future. China is not in this year. China is in 2080. And I felt just like that. The center published 2 years ago a report about the mutual cultural understanding between both Generation Z in Brazil and China. And one aspect that caught my attention the most was that even though the language barrier was appointed by both sides as an impediment of having a better understanding of each other, the other areas were not affected. Like, if you ask a Brazilian 10 or 15 years ago a reference about China, they would say cheap products. The made in China wave back then. Now, China has gained a very important space in public opinion, in public debate, among scholars, among simple people in Brazil, politicians and many. Like, they are present with our 5G, our connections, internet connections, you know, and energy, as I said, and many other important sources.